What's up, everybody? This is Dr. J coming to you live from Northern Virginia with the My Mentor Medicine podcast. We're living in a time where global tension, constant news, and uncertainty are affecting our nervous systems in very real ways. Many people feel on edge, exhausted, or overwhelmed without fully understanding why. In this episode, we'll explore how Tai Chi and Qigong offer practical, trainable tools for staying regulated in an unstable world. These practices aren't about avoiding the reality that we live in. They're about learning how to meet it with clarity, steadiness, and resilience. This is also the foundation of how we teach in our instructor training programs, monthly workshops, and our classes here at My Mentor Medicine. Let's get started. We're going to begin with why the world feels more chaotic right now. Okay? And this is not an episode that's going to get political. We're not going to discuss what certain countries are doing towards other countries or administrations are doing towards other countries' administrations. We are going to focus on the chaos that might or might not exist and how we can adjust to that. First of all, we are all constantly exposed to whatever we term as stress. If you have learned from me in the classroom, you will hear me say that stress does not exist. I will say that again. Stress does not exist. It is a label that is placed over the experience that you have that encompasses whether it be physical manifestations, you have physiological changes, you're starting to feel more emotional in certain situations. The term stress is a cop-out, which is why I say that stress does not exist. The physiological symptoms and your signs are what are real. If we brush those to the side, then we don't know exactly how they have formed or what we can do about them. That is key for medical practitioners, and that is also key for someone who is teaching Tai Chi and Qigong. What does this mean for us, though, when we understand the why about the chaos in the world right now? Well, yes, let's stick with the word stress, since maybe you are familiar with it and many others are. We use it on a daily basis. I may be one of the few who doesn't. We have constant exposure to these signals. Anything that triggers our bodies, that triggers our minds, our emotions. What they might be are things like the news, global conflict, economic uncertainty, social media, too much information in the world, too many options on the menu at the restaurant. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to decide. We don't know where to go. We don't know how to do it because there are so many things bombarding us. I mean, look in your email inbox every day. Look at your phone. How many beeps and other kinds of sounds are there? And notifications that come up. It is never ending. And this is our nervous system interacting with this world that we have generated. It is chronic activation. And what becomes the default state of mind? Fight or flight. I'll either check my email now, get it done with, or I'm running away. I am not dealing with this right now. We either go or we don't. In these situations, we find it difficult to return to the baseline. What do I mean by baseline? Well, the baseline level of calm for you. Everything in Eastern medicine is based in yin and yang. Everything in Tai Chi and Qigong is based in yin and yang. And when one of those two moves in an extreme direction, we have way too much yang or way too much yin, we've lost the connection to our baseline. It will draw us back eventually. However, how far away we go is determined by our actions, by our thoughts, and can be triggered by these signals. Our nervous system is where the real battles are happening. let me say that being calm is not a personality trait. When you tell someone that, oh, you're so calm in these situations, how do you do it? It's not just something that they drum up. It is a physiological state. If you've listened to any words that come out of Tony Robbins' mouth, he will tell you that you can create this state at any point in time that you desire. Now, I am not Tony Robbins, but in the same line of thinking, developing calm is not a difficult thing to do. However, you have to train yourself. There is either a regulation that happens of what's developing inside of your body physiologically, or there's a suppression. Take emotions, for example. You can control them, or you can let them control you. Or you can shove them inside and wait till they come back out. Like, no, get in the closet. It's not time for you to come out. I have guests. You're not welcome here right now. You can come out later when it's just the two of us. And we shouldn't be suppressing anything. We should be learning to build our own abilities. How can we control these? How can we recognize them? And that is really the difference between responding and reacting. Do you react in situations where there is more chaos, where there is more stress? Or can you respond? In the world of Tai Chi, Qigong, martial arts, when you have a punch coming at you, a kick coming at you, or anything coming at you for that matter, do you react? Or do you respond by observing, even if it's really quick? Can you respond in a way that helps you to maintain a level of calm? And that might, in the world of martial arts, mean you are grounded, you are connected, you can turn, you can move, you're not going to lose your balance so easily, and there's a less likelihood of you being hit or hurt. Chronic stress, when it shows up, martial arts aside, we all begin to feel it, to recognize it, affecting our lives. We start to sleep less, or the quality of our sleep is very poor. The body gets really tense. We might have some aches and pains. We might feel burnout because of all of the interaction our nervous system has with the world around us. In terms of responding to these changes that are obviously not ideal. Nobody wants bad sleep, bad quality sleep. Nobody wants to have a whole bunch of pain. Nobody wants to feel burnout in their lives. But we all do at some point or another. But how do you get back to the baseline? Movement-based practices are essential. Of course, I do talk at length about Tai Chi, Qigong, and other art forms that are useful in these situations. And as you can imagine, these two, Tai Chi and Qigong, are two of the most effective. Hence the reason I practice them and also use them with patients. Exercise is just as good. You go to the gym, you do some weightlifting, you do some cardio, you do some stretching, you take a class, you name it. Movement-based practices move the body, which move the mind, which change your physiological state. You want to change your state? Get up and move. You don't want to change it? Keep sitting there. So the nervous system is where the real battleground happens, and we do have some level of control over that by changing our state. From the words of Tony Robbins. Tai Chi allows us to remain calm under pressure, but this requires training. It is not easy to achieve this level, even for myself or for any seasoned practitioner. The slow, intentional movement that we perform with Tai Chi and Qigong retrains the body, retrains the mind, and allows us to return to a state of safety. Not safety in the sense that we're running away, but we remain connected. Just think of the story of the three little pigs, the different types of homes. Which one would you want to live in? It takes a little more time, a little more intention, a little bit more understanding of what you need to have, how to get it, and what that will do for you in the long run. The body begins to learn that it can move without threat, without that reactionary state. We can respond when the punch is coming at us. Hence the reason why martial artists do drills over and over and over and over and over again. They get thrown, they get punched, they get kicked. They have equipment on. So that in a situation where we do need to react, the body can move appropriately. Assuming we have a good teacher, assuming we have good ways of practice, and we also are able to apply them and maybe even able to teach them. So the bottom line is with Tai Chi, we're learning to train the body and the mind in new ways when we are given a potential threat. This involves learning how to once again walk, to move, to shift your weight, to understand what balance really means, not just standing on one leg. What does that mean in terms of posture from top to bottom? What does that mean in terms of breathing? What does that mean in terms of connection? How do you build a root underneath you so, like a tree, you don't fall over when the slightest wind blows? We learn to adapt. And adapting is important when you're practicing Tai Chi, and obviously it is important in our lives. Nothing is consistent. The continuous flow that both of these arts, Tai Chi and Qigong, allow for you to experience, help you to reduce that reaction, that reactionary state of mind that we all retreat to in a situation where we are in danger. Staying calm in the presence of extreme danger can be very difficult, and there are people who go through training that allow them to, at least on the outside, to present as calm so that others can absorb that, even though inside they may be shaking in their boots. Okay, so this continuous flow that Tai Chi allows for teaches us to continuously respond, and to respond in ways that are effective. Being calm is a trained skill. As I said, it's not a personality trait, it's a physiological state, which means we have to continuously place ourselves in a position where we might not feel calm, but we're learning to change our bodies and minds so that we can experience that calm state no matter what. Your awareness will skyrocket if you can achieve this. You will not be, oh my gosh, what's going on? There's 500 more emails in my box. My phone's off, ringing off the hook. None of this stuff. Right. Oh, the phone rang. I'll get to it in a minute. Right. Or, I have 600 emails. Let me see if I can categorize these based on what needs to be done. 580 of them are probably junk. Right. I don't even know if I'm doing my math right now, but you get the point. As we expose ourselves to these situations, these stressful moments in life, we slowly allow ourselves the opportunity to become even more steady, even more calm under pressure through movement. We also have Qigong as a way to restore our stability internally. We do this through the breath. If you practice Qigong, you know exactly what I mean. The breath is the bridge between the body and the mind. If we're learning to remain calm and stable so that we have control in a situation, or as much control as we possibly can, then the breath is a vital part of this. It helps us to regulate the pace, the depth. So when your mind is racing, chances are your breathing might be increasing. Your heart rate might be getting faster. Maybe even your blood pressure's going up a little bit. The breath allows those things to slow down because it does set the pace for the rest of the body. Doing simple repetitive movements like we have in our Tai Chi classes, our videos online. If you haven't done any Tai Chi with us yet, go to YouTube, search for My Metro Medicine, look at any of our playlists on Tai Chi and Qigong. We have tons of videos. Tai Chi with Justin, we got different forms. We have various Qigong movements and forms as well. Try those and follow the speed of the actions, the repetitiveness of them, and the coordination with the breath. You will understand very quickly what it means to use these together with the breath to help bring stability to the nervous system. This is about awareness of your body's energy, qi as we call it. There is no mysticism here. If you can feel it, and you recognize a change, and there is intention behind it, because there was intention behind how these movements were put together into sequences, then it absolutely works. Research has shown this many, many times. So we don't need to go back to that beginning and understand why does this stuff seem, all wooey or whatever people say these days. There is no mystical aspect to it. We might not quite understand it yet, but it is there. It exists. We feel it. We recognize it. We can change it. The other thing that's great about these practices is that you can do them anywhere. They are portable. And your phone, your devices are portable too, assuming you have connections, which means you can watch these videos that we produce. You can practice alongside of us. You can join us virtually, live, and come to any of our classes, our workshops, our trainings, learn to be a teacher. You can do all of this stuff on your own, at home, at work, in person sometimes, during these stressful moments. Those are the times when you need them the most. The ultimate goal of practicing these arts and working towards a level of control that can calm the nervous system is peace. I know many people throw around the phrase inner peace a lot, like it's candy. Peace as training is what we are striving for, not a form of escape. We're not trying to get away. We're not trying to run away. We're not trying to move into the fetal position so that the stress doesn't harm us. Calm does not mean that you are disengaging. The principles of Tai Chi teach us that we should yield without collapsing. If there is a punch coming towards me, I don't curl up into a ball, fall on the ground, and start screaming at the top of my lungs. I move with it. It sounds dangerous, but it's effective. We stick to it. There's a practice called sticking hands, pushing hands. We yield to the challenge. We yield to the stress factor that's coming towards us. Again, not as a way to succumb to it or to escape from it, but we yield to observe, to understand what it is without collapsing. And in the process of doing so, we have the opportunity to respond to it, not react. People who learn these principles, embody them, are making better decisions. You might know a person or two in your life who is functioning very well in a dangerous situation, a challenging situation. Maybe they've gone through something that was very difficult. Maybe they've helped you go through something very difficult in your life. health-related, work-related. Those in healthcare, those in positions of leadership, anyone having a difficult situation, if we can learn how to generate this idea of inner peace through training, by yielding without folding inward and collapsing, by responding instead of reacting, then we can become a contribution of peace to the world. We can help others become stable. We can help to form stable communities around us. This may be an idealistic way of thinking and speaking, but it is possible. If stress is a possibility, peace is a possibility. And finally, if you are able to practice these methods, understand these principles, gain a sense of calm in the world of chaos, perhaps you can teach it. Training an instructor is never easy. A future instructor or an existing instructor. It's only something I've done recently in the last couple of years. But I've found that it is extremely valuable and important for the future of not just these art forms, but also for society. I feel amazing about what our instructors are able to do that come through our programs. And I am absolutely astounded and even blessed to be working with them and watching them change their communities, to go off and help other people move through these actions that are extremely peaceful, that are extremely calm in terms of what they can do for the body, the mind together. Teaching these arts of Tai Chi and Qigong involved not just knowing the movements, but also understanding a little bit about the meridians, the channels, the points, the organ systems, everything that makes up this medicine of Eastern medicine. Even Western medicine, we recognize that these art forms are extremely valuable for the human body and the human mind. When we are in times of stress, as we age, as we experience chronic health conditions, there's an instructor out there for you. We are, even if we don't, list it in our class description, we are helping to educate your nervous system, to retrain your nervous system. We are working to adapt these art forms for the modern populations. It's not necessary for me to teach a whole bunch of classes on how to punch and kick using Tai Chi, actions and applications. That can be done. I can do it. But our society doesn't call for that as much. I believe that I myself and those that come through our program are ethically responsible for helping to develop calm in the world around us. Now more so than ever. 1, 2, 3, 4. At My Metro Medicine, we offer a number of different workshops throughout the year, classes. The idea is to build community, hence why we have a Tai Chi and Qigong community class that happens twice a month. We train instructors a couple times a year so that we can guide them and others, their future students, safely through these art forms, through these movements. Calm must be embodied in order to be taught. And if we can fill the world with people who have more calm than chaos, then you're welcome. I think we've created some good change in the world. As we close today's episode, remember that peace is not something that we wait for the world to provide. It's something that we train within ourselves. Tai Chi and Qigong offer practical ways to stay grounded, present, and steady, even when circumstances feel uncertain. At My Metro Medicine, this understanding shapes how we teach through our instructor training programs, workshops, classes, creating spaces where calm is practiced, not just discussed. I thank you for spending this time with me on the My Mature Medicine podcast. I'm Dr. J, and until next time, keep practicing steadiness and let that calm move with you into the world. I'll see you next time.